As we do many times, we're going to compare the engagement types and see what we've got here. These are just ones that are just more similar to each other. So we want to understand, and you always want to memorize what level of assurance is provided in each type of engagement, as well as what standards does it follow. We see here that the agreed upon procedures and examination types follow SSAE, whereas a compliance report is going to follow just our normal auditing standards. This is important. I would, anytime you see a chart like this, tell you memorize it. You'll just see blatant multiple choice questions asking you which of these meets the criteria. Now we've got the big one. We've got a wonderful big graphic here, and we'll see this in a lot of lessons. I'll go over it every time, and if you've seen this in a prior lesson, feel free to skip over, but I don't think it ever hurts to check it out. In this column, we've got the standard that each of these engagements would follow. And, as you see, we've got broken out, like we've got audit broken out twice because you could do a normal audit or you could do a governmental audit. You see, like this is a very dynamic way to present all the information. We've got examinations, agreed upon procedures, consulting services. Like we said, this is just super flexible, creative, kind of whatever the client wants you to do. Tax work, preparations, compilations. Some of these types will have their own lessons, just like we have with agreed upon procedures. Some of them will just kind of be talked about, depending on their level of importance for the exam. I would definitely memorize. I would, if you can, I would memorize this entire graphic. I would very much, whether it's flashcards or however is best for you, I would very much recommend doing that. What level of assurance is provided? Audits have the highest level of assurance. Other engagements don't provide any assurance. What's the type of assurance? Not insurance, assurance. I feel like I say that a lot, but I'm just talking a lot. I'm just talking to myself here, recording all of these wonderful lessons. Is there an opinion? In this case, for agreed upon procedures? No, it's just a list of findings. The subject matter and assertions, restricted use, you can kind of focus on this more. I would say this is important here. Is the report restricted use? Meaning, do we need to prevent the general public from finding it? And the reason why something would be restricted use is because it could skew someone's, if it wasn't made for you to read, it could skew what you think. I mean, if you find an agreed upon procedure, specifically, let's say, issuing findings on someone's income statement, it might say the income statement's great, it's wonderful, you guys are profitable. And if someone who that report was not for picks that up, they might say, oh, this company looks incredible, I'm going to invest in it. But guess what? That's just one aspect of the business. In a full audit, you might have seen, okay, the company's going under. Despite its profitability, it's going under, or it's getting sued and it's going to be shut down. So it's very important legally and for the protection of just the general public and investors that if something's restricted use, it's not going to get out to the public. Or if the bank is the one making you get an agreed upon procedures report, essentially, like, it's just for that one entity. It's private information. It's maybe information you don't want to get out there. Like, even though it's not particularly going to mislead people, it's just your own personal private information. If, let's say, you're a private company and you don't need to publicly issue all this information out to the general populace. Is independence required? Do we report issues? A lot of, most engagements, if there's any issues we see within the company, we're going to report it. Procedures that are going to be conducted. This is not exhaustive, but these are just the types of procedures that would be done in each engagement. AUP, as we said, these are going to be specified by the client. What about disclaiming an opinion? Well, this is saying in agreed upon procedures in the report, we're going to explicitly say, we did not perform examination or review. Now, I mean, that's not just me arbitrarily picking out the words examination or review. No, this is the AICPA explicitly stating that you need to say this is not an examination or review, because it could be confused with those, and the accountant does not express an opinion. Do we assess the risk of fraud? Do we consider internal controls? And is there a management representation letter needed? These are all items to memorize. In which types of engagements these are required. Again, I highly, if I could force you to do it, I would. Can't do that because I don't know who you are. I'm sure you're wonderful, though. Make sure you have this memorized. It's going to give you free points in the exam. Hey there. Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material. We'll do it together. Tap into the power of cpa.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.